And later, our financial panel is here covering your assets. Have a reason to spy on your loved ones? We will show you how to do that with the hottest new app. Spy on your loved ones, your husband, maybe your kids. Stay with us. Are private apps watching you? It's the latest trend among family members using smartphones and tablets to spy on their loved ones. Now, whether you're trying to catch a cheater or just make sure your child is safe, there's an app for that. But can you do it legally? Joining me now, Kris Ruby, CEO of Ruby Media Group. Great to have you here, Kris. So, how does this work? And is it legal? Do I sneak an app onto my husband's phone? Is that what we're talking about here?
We are, yes. That's exactly what you do. You'd sneak the app onto your husband's phone. He doesn't necessarily know that you're even putting it on there. Some people are open about it, but then again, that would defeat the whole purpose of doing it.
So, is it legal?
It's not really legal. And if you actually look at the disclaimers on each of these app sites, you'll see that it very clearly states that there's very specific regulations around how to use it and what they are intended for. They're not really intended for this purpose.
But we're hearing that in divorce cases all over the country, as much as 80%, folks are bringing up this data, this information from these apps, and using it in the court of law. How can that be legal?
It is. I mean, it's the #1 way that people are figuring out who's cheating. So it's not necessarily legal, but it's all over the place in terms of how you figure it out.
Okay, Kris, how does it track where your husband is, or what does it do?
It does. It has to do with the geolocating services. So you trap it, you put it in your phone, and then you can actually see where someone is at any given time.
I wasn't at Nancy's house. I was across the street at the bar with a friend. I can hear all the excuses now. Wow, that's just shocking. But you're saying that you could also use it to watch out for your kids.
You can, and I think that's the real great reason here as to why people should be using it. Like an app like Trick, there's a Treater one that people use for that.
Okay, so they probably wouldn't like it either, though your kids don't want you watching over their shoulder either. Let's talk about some of the apps you actually do like. What do you recommend? There's
a new app out right now called Connect. I think that's a really interesting app. You can basically use it for traveling, where it's virtual check-ins. You can see where people are anytime you go somewhere. Rather than just looking on Facebook to see where they've checked in, you actually have a virtual map of where everyone is around you that's in your address book. So I think that's a pretty interesting one.
So everybody in my address book may not want me to know where they are at that moment, right? I'm shocked by this. Am I the only person shocked by this? What else? You've got Find My Friends.
Yes, Find My Friends. All of these are also really great. Let's talk about employers for a second, because it's really helpful. For example, I have an employee that works virtually. I'd love to put this on their phone so I can see specifically, are they working when they say they're working? I want to find where they are. Are they sitting at their desks, or are they somewhere else? So it's a really helpful use for that.
Trick or Tracker, I think you mentioned that before. How does that work?
Trick or Tracker was originally created to find your children around Halloween. So it's a really great app. I like this one a lot. I think it's great for monitoring kids.
And Top's Spy app, that sounds like you're looking out for your husband here.
That one is, that's a hardcore one. I would say out of all of them, that one is subscription-based, I believe, and basically you can forward and monitor SMS texts, emails, everything. So it's basically like if you want to find out the lowdown on what your spouse is doing, I'd go to that one.
The texts?
Yep.
The emails?
Everything.
Does it have a locator device?
Yeah, I believe it does as well. So you can find everything and where someone is. So you can't lie, essentially, with these apps.
Which one of these is your favorite?
I actually like Find My iPhone, which was one of the original ones.
Yes.
Which is, I like that. I think it's simple. I know a lot of people use it, and I find it convenient to use.
In case you lose your iPhone.
Yeah, because that's the other reason. It can help you find your iPhone if it's lost. So for that reason, it's good.
Wow, I'm going to be in shock for the rest of the show. Kris, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
That's amazing. Now I'm scared. Okay.